My name's Esha Dwight and I'm super excited to be talking about this live today. It is a topic that's actually quite close to my heart, and I think by the end of it you'll end up understanding why. So there's probably three reasons why people actually jump onto lives like this when they see the topic of, you know, the missing link to weight loss, the missing link to fat loss. There's usually three reasons or three categories as to why people do jump on and listen in. And you may fall into all three categories or you may not fall into any, but usually there's these three categories. And the first is that you're frustrated. You're frustrated of going on different programs, going on different diets. You lose the weight initially, then you only but put the weight back on again. So there's that real frustration. The second reason is that, you know, there's so many of us that just don't feel good in our skin, all right? It might be that you're carrying excess weight. Maybe you're in that category of obese. You've got digestive problems. Maybe there's gut issues. There's flatulence. Or maybe it's just progressing into a more, deeper ill health state. So that's often the second reason that people jump on to this type of life. The third reason is you just want to feel better about yourself. You want to feel good in your skin again. You want to get that spark back. Maybe you want to bring the little bit of sexy back into your relationship with your partner. So whatever category you fall into, look, it does not matter. It does not matter, because this is going to be a really good one for you. Okay, so before I jump into all of the content, and I'm just going to make sure I've got everything here. I just want to get a bit of an understanding who's actually excited about learning the missing link to fat loss. It's something that researchers have known for a long time, but most practitioners, most doctors, some naturopathic practitioners don't know this. So just drop it in the comments if you're actually excited about learning something new, because I really want to make sure that everybody understands this today. Yep, we've got some excited people. Okay. Also, I just want to understand where you're coming in from. Could you let me know which either country you're coming in from or which state? I've shared a little bit of a secret that we are thinking about moving. So we want to go somewhere warmer. So let me know where you're actually coming in from. Let's have a look. Okay, do we have anybody coming in from our other states in Australia? Are you coming in from overseas? As we go along, just pop it in the chat, because I want to know where you're actually coming in from, because that will help me with we're not moving to Melbourne, Ray. Okay, Ian, yes, I know you're in the next room. You're helping me out. You're my sound man today. We've got WA. What's the weather like, Sandy? Is it good in WA at the moment? Let me know. Anyway, so for wherever you are around the globe, I am really excited to bring this to you. Okay, so I'm just going to put a few things in perspective here. And it's really interesting because, when we learn things, we think we're learning the truth. We think that whatever we've been taught by either our parents, or maybe our schooling, or maybe our university education, or maybe our workplace, we learn these things and we usually lock that in as the truth. And if there's one thing that I can tell you before I go on and explain the concept that I'm going to be talking about today, is that people that have the greatest success, the people that actually make this work for them, one, they actually got a whiteboard. Remember, in their head, their brain, they pretended that was a whiteboard, and they rubbed off everything that they'd learned. And that's what I'm asking you to do today. Okay, I'm asking you to just wipe off any pre-learned thoughts that you have about fat loss. The other thing that makes people have absolute success, not just on our programs, but in life, they're willing to invest. They're willing to invest in themselves. Okay, they put themselves first. You know that old analogy about if the plane's going down, who puts the oxygen mask on first? You do. You do. You put the oxygen mask on first before you put the mask on your child. Okay, it is so important because you're going to be no use to your children if you don't have that oxygen. So it's so important, and that's another distinguished feature of people that really make this work for them. They are prepared to invest in themselves. The other thing, they take on inspired thoughts. Okay, I'm here to inspire you today. All right, I'm going to be truthful. I'm here to inspire you to take action. All right, because you'll learn that you're the youngest you are today. All right, so we need to make sure that we're inspired to take some action. And last but not least, these people give themselves permission to do something greater each day. Okay, they give themselves permission to do something greater each day. So they're the character traits of the people that actually really make this work for them, and it's quite interesting. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Esha, and something that you may not know is that I did learn my passion very, very young in life. In fact, I was 12. Now, myself and my beautiful husband-to-be, we've got 5 kids between us, and I realized that it's quite unique in finding your passion so young at life. Now, how that came about is I lost my mother when I was 10, and it was a deeply traumatic time. She had a terminal illness. It was a lifestyle illness, it was cancer, but it plagued her for the first 10 years of my life. And it was just a small family. It was myself, my dad, and my mum. So when mum died, I actually went into this amnesia. So I had two full-blown years of amnesia. I don't remember anything. My father remembers it, but I don't remember anything about that time. And I remember we were living in a caravan at that time, and Dad had spent all his money on trying to get mum well, paying for chemotherapy, paying for different treatments, travelling around Australia to try and search for the answer, the cure to her cancer. Oh, little did we know. But I remember waking up in the caravan, in the bunk bed of the caravan, and I knew what I wanted to do in life. I couldn't articulate it like I do now, and that, but back then I knew what I wanted to do in life, and I have been relentless every single day, every breath that I take, in getting people off a disease path in life, and that's really why LTLA is here. And in all of my years of research, what I discovered was that we're not being taught this at school. We're not being taught this by our parents. We're not being taught this at uni. We're not being taught this anyway. We're not being taught the fundamentals of health. We're not being taught how to keep a good body composition. We are on this planet for such a short period of time, and so many of us live such shortened lives due to lifestyle diseases, and I'm going to put excess body fat and obesity into that category. So that is exactly why I decided to dedicate my life to helping people get on a disease, off a disease path in life. We never want to get anybody on a disease path in life. We want to get people off a disease path in life. So what you're going to learn today is something that researchers have known for, and this is medical researchers, scientists have known for literally 60 odd years. However, very few practitioners, very few doctors, very few clinicians actually know about this principle. And the principle I'm going to be talking about is the body weight set point. Okay, and it's an absolute fascinating principle, and I would guarantee it is the #1 reason you are not having the success on programs that you want. Okay, it is truly the missing link to fat loss. So I'm going to explain the concept to you. So what is it? So the body weight set point, it's actually an unconscious mechanism within the body. So what happens, and pop it in the comments, what happens when you get cold? Okay, I don't want your health professionals giving me the technical explanation that it's the erecti pili muscles on our arms and everywhere. But what actually happens when you get cold? Yeah, anybody? What happens when you get cold? You shiver. Yeah, you shiver. That's right. You shiver. And that's, like I said, the little erecti pili muscles erecting themselves, and that's acting as an insulator. So what happens when you get hot? Oh, I told you. What happens when you get hot? Yeah, you start to sweat. So you actually start to sweat, and then that acts with the atmospheric pressure, and it starts to cool you down. Yeah, it starts to cool you down. The same applies, the same principle applies, the same unconscious mechanism in the body applies to blood pressure. You get stressed, your blood pressure goes up. The body tries to bring it down. You may eat too much sugar. What happens? You have a spike in blood sugar level, and your insulin levels rise up to try and lower your blood sugar levels, your blood glucose levels. Now, that's not you saying, hey, body, hey, switch on the insulin. You got to lower your blood sugar levels because you're going to go into a hyper, or eventually in the afternoon, you're going to go into a hypo. No, it's an unconscious mechanism that the body uses. And that unconscious mechanism is called homeostasis. Google it. Big word, medical term, but it's just about the body wanting to bring itself back into balance. So what on earth does that have to do with weight loss? Okay, it has everything to do with body weight set point, which really is the master controller of your weight. So if you think of it like this, okay, this is where you're locked in right now. Now, maybe the winter months come, you eat the wrong food, you ate more warming foods, maybe you're drinking too much red wine, and you can see, here's your weight. So we've locked your body weight set point in. So winter months, you're eating more, maybe you're creeping up that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kilograms, and maybe then the festive season comes and you put on another 4 or 5 kilograms. They're statistics, by the way. Okay, they're actually proper stats of how much weight people put on during winter and during the festive season. That's why we always have a winter challenge to help you guys, to be able to serve you guys, to be able to lose that weight. So you're putting on the weight, right? And what actually happens, the body weight set point starts creeping up. All right, and then that gets locked in, and then summer's coming, and you think, oh, I need to lose some weight. So you go on a program, you start losing the weight, and yes, that body weight set point starts to drop. You're nowhere near down here before the winter months started. But that body weight set point is locked in all the time. So you may be eating, over calorizing, not exercising, trying to get through the winter months, trying to get through the festive season. Your body weight set point to bring you back into balance is going to try and match you. All right, it's going to try and get you back to where you were meant to be. All right, and that's what we call the body weight set point. So it's insidious, and it happens so slowly, and this is what gets people into so much trouble. Now, it was really interesting. I was reading a study the other day, and it was a government study, which was great, and it reviewed 399,000 people. Okay? Big numbers, 399,000 people. And what they found during that time was that the people that had extremely poor health outcomes during the COVID pandemic, okay, over that 2-year block, were the people that were obese. So obesity is the number one marker of premature death. It is the number one health marker that we've always got to be tapping into. You know, we talk about muscle loss being the number one biomarker of aging. We talk about, smoking. Obesity now, you probably heard me say it earlier today if you watched any of our reels or our stories. Obesity kills more people than smoking. I don't know about you, but most of us, and I'm saying this with so much respect to the people that are smoking and maybe are wanting to stop, it is the most toxic thing that you can put into your body. However, obesity is killing more people today. It's frightening. Absolutely frightening. So I just want to also cite, there's another couple of reasons, another couple of studies that I was reading, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it's really interesting. There was the Minnesota starvation experiment back in World War II, conscientious objectors. actually who didn't want to go to war to fight. They wanted to stay home to serve their country. They went on a hunger strike because they believed back then that there was going to be a worldwide famine. There was going to be no food during the World War II period. And what these men, it was men who did this. What these men did was they went on a 6-month hunger strike. Okay, let me use it as an example, and I'm just going to use one more as an example. So their body weight set point was here. They went on a hunger strike and their body fat plummeted. Okay, and what they found was their body, their metabolism in the body really sped up. Okay, so when they went off the starvation diet, right, they actually went back to their natural body weight set point. The body wanted to bring it right back into balance. They were fixated on foods. The men went out gathering utensils. They went out gathering cooking books, magazines with recipes on. All their dialogue was all about food. That sped their metabolism up. They actually went a little bit higher than their body weight set point. Okay, so that really gives one experiment that was done on men that shows that how the body brings itself back to balance. There was another Verdun, there was a Verdun, oh, mental blank. There was a prison in the US. And Verdun comes to mind. I can't remember the name of the prison, but they actually overfed their inmates. There was volunteers, not sure they could volunteer, but they were volunteers, and they overfed them. So their body weight set point was here. Now this is all documented. And what happened, bit by bit, their body weight set point went up. Okay? Now, their metabolism slowed, their metabolism actually quickened this time, really quickened, so it really got activated to actually bring the body weight set point down again. So the hunger people, their metabolism slowed right down to conserve all their energy. But these guys, the inmates that overconsumed, their metabolism slowed right down. Right down. They didn't want to think about food. They weren't hungry. So they went off the over-calorie diet. They went off eating too much. Their body weight set point then started to drop to where it was again. That's just 2 examples of the body weight set point. Vermont, I pulled it from the archives of my mind. Vermont jail in the US. They did a overconsumption, overfeeding study of inmates. Fascinating. If you ever get time, you want the studies, I'll send them to you. So in this short time, I'm not going to be able to explain all of our key principles in our weight loss program, all right? But everything that we do in our weight loss program, and there's 9 key principles that actually force the body to get back to a good body weight set point. So maybe you're here right now and then you go on the program, you lower your body weight and your body weight set point matches it. And I've got case study after case study of people that have had incredible results. I always say miraculous results on the programs, getting their body weight set point down. Now, I don't have enough time to go into the 9 odd key principles that actually work to lower the body weight set point, but I'm going to give you one really valuable tip. And this is something that I want you to do today. Okay, it's something, if you're not on the program, if you're new to us, hey, welcome. If you've never been on our weight loss program, one of our 3 weight loss programs, then this is what I want you to do today. It's really, really valuable. All right, so get your pens and papers out and write this down. Write this down. So the first thing I want to talk about is protein. Now, I had a colleague come in, one of our senior mentors, she came in last week and talked about amino acids and proteins. I want to talk about the importance of protein. It is a building block of the body, and it is one of our key principles that we utilize under what we call anti-inflammatory foods. So protein is incredibly anti-inflammatory. So protein is responsible for satiety, so for fullness, sense of fullness. It's responsible for appetite. It's responsible for metabolism. It's responsible for blood sugar control. It's responsible for blood sugar control. Only I get excited talking about protein. My goodness. It's essential for the immune system. It's literally a building block of life. If you don't have enough protein, you are going to suffer. All right, you're going to suffer. And I'm talking to my vegan and my vegetarian friends, as well as the people that are on a standard, on a standard diet and you eat animal foods, right? So when we talk proteins, I often have a lot of people come back and say, well, I eat protein. I eat hot dogs, and when I'm having my pizza, I have my salami, I have my variety of plant proteins, I have my beans, I have my legumes, I have enough protein. Well, the simple fact is most people are protein deficient, okay? They don't get enough protein in their diet. Now, the proteins I'm talking about, definitely plant proteins, your legumes and your beans, without a doubt. You do have to be extremely careful about combining your proteins when you are vegan or vegetarian. You've got to make sure you've got all of the different amino acids from all of the different protein sources. But the other proteins I'm talking about is fish, white fish. Okay, not so much our Atlantic salmon, maybe wild caught Atlantic salmon, but the white fishes are very good sources of protein. We've got free range chicken, we've got turkey, we've got grass-fed meats, we've got grass-fed pork, grass-fed beef. We've got, natural preservative-free quality sausages, things like this, tofu, tempeh, free-range eggs or organic eggs if you can get organic meat. Gosh, I can't always afford organic meat these days, but try and go for free-range as much as possible. You've got nuts and seeds. So all of these things are proteins. Oh, and don't forget, you've got your protein powders. I love pre-protein. I think that's a very bioavailable, active protein in the body. So you've got all of your proteins. And what I want you to do, okay, so writing this down, so you're going to make sure that you're having quality proteins. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to start having protein for breakfast. Okay, every morning I want you to have protein for breakfast. Write that one down. Some people skip breakfast, and it's one of the worst things that you can do. I'm not going to go into the debate about intermittent fasting and not having foods in the morning. There is merit in virtually everything. But what I can assure you after 35 years of research, it's probably really 40 odd years of research, is I know the changes in the body when you start to tell people to have protein for the breakfast in the morning. What it does, it sets the body up right. Okay, it sets the energy levels up right. You're not hungry throughout the day. You don't have that slump in the afternoon, all because that you're having protein for breakfast in the morning. Now, you might want to have eggs and spinach and some mushrooms. You might want to have, we've got an amazing recipe group. You might want to have any of the proteins from, our recipe group. If you're on a program, you have to be on a program to get into there. But we're always willing to share things with you. And there's lots of information on the LTLA group about recipes and whatnot. So protein for breakfast, okay? That is a key actionable tip I want you to do straight away. Protein for breakfast in the morning. Make sure it's quality protein. Make sure that it's sourced from a good source, that it is primarily free range if you can, or if you can't afford free range or organic, then maybe just a couple of days a week you're introducing some grass-fed free-range produce into your diet. Okay, I would go as far as saying make sure your eggs are always free-range. They're pretty cheap these days. You might find that it's either the same price as the caged eggs, or it's $1.50, maybe $2 more. So really important that you try and go for the free range eggs. All right, so before we go any further, I just want to recap what I perceive is absolute value that you've gotten today, right? So first thing, we know that being overweight or obese can lead to poor health outcomes. We've got to be so careful of that. That's my heart, and that's what I preach nearly all day, every day. you've got to be very, very careful when you get to the obese category, because those fat cells are releasing these inflammatory markers in the body, inflammatory chemicals that do damage. They give you low energy. They cause hormonal issues. You might get perimenopausal or menopausal issues. Look, I could just talk an hour on the side effects of fat cells, excess fat cells in the body. We went over the body weight set point. That is what makes us unique. That is what makes us very, very different from all of the other programs on the market, in the market. And we've got 9 key principles that really target the body weight set point and bringing it back to balance, okay? Lowering that body weight set point so that when you go off the program, you're not going to put that body fat back on again, okay? You're not going to put the body fat back on again. That's so important. And the last thing I wanted you to have as a takeaway is to make sure you're having protein with every meal, but in particular, I want you to make sure you're having protein, quality protein. Any of the proteins that I've listed, go back and have a listen to them after, but I want you to have them for breakfast in the morning. It's really, really important. Okay, so I just want to share with you, just a few case studies. These are real world examples that I'm always blown away by, that really highlight, and my ring light's going to interfere a little bit. But this is a classic example of normalizing the body weight set point. This beautiful woman who I've got so much respect for, she lost over 80 kilograms. Okay, over 80 kilograms. And today she has maintained her body weight set point. She's lowered her body weight set point to the point that she can go out on the weekend. She can be an incredibly busy mum with children, and she can lower her body weight set point so it's locked in. So that's just one example. Oh, look, I love this fella. Love him to death. He lost 16 odd kilograms on the program. And he has maintained. He has, and he'll fluctuate. He's the typical bloke. He'll go out on the weekend on his bike rides with his mates, and he'll have the alcohol and the beers, and he'll put a few kilograms on, but then he'll come back to the eating principles, and he will maintain his body weight. And this is a busy businessman, okay? Ian Horn saying, who's that handsome bloke? I'm sorry, I had to share because that's a whole lot of potatoes you were carrying there. I also want to share somebody who is a woman of my absolute heart. She probably doesn't know I've got these pictures. I think she does know I've got these pictures. But this was her before, and look, and here's her after. Okay, and this is a woman that I know personally, that she has definitely lowered her body weight set point. She is a busy woman as well. She runs a very active social life. She is, I would go as far as saying, a beautiful foodie. She loves her food. She loves her socializing, and she's been able to maintain. Look, she puts on a couple of kilograms, but she just gets back on track, and she loses again. And her body weight set point, that set point just comes down. That few kilograms that she's come up just comes down again. We've got global stories from all around this world. This chap has still maintained his body weight set point. Oh, look, I could just go on. This is a FIFO worker, okay? Gosh, this takes me back, and he has still maintained his body weight set point. Have a look. How gorgeous is that? So he's still maintained his body weight set point years and years and years, probably 4 years after, it would be 4 years after doing the program. I love these results. These are people getting themselves out of high risk category. Have a look at that one. Have a look at the trousers. Gosh, a lot of our senior mentors, they all could do this. They could all show their piece of clothing and show how they have successfully lowered that body weight set point. So if you're one of those people that think, oh my goodness, I don't have the time, well, think again. Think of the case studies I showed you. If you're thinking that, oh, how am I going to integrate this into my family life? Well, we are all busy working mums, and we do it. The family come along for the ride. It's quite amazing. And, the kids get healthy. Our hubbies get healthy. And it's a very, very rewarding feeling. So if you're thinking about changing, now is the time. And I said this earlier. You know, this is not about the weight you lose. This is about the life you gain. It's about the life you gain. This is not just about aesthetics, okay? You are the oldest, right? Youngest. You are the youngest that you will ever be today. Yeah? When I heard that, that really resonated. You are the youngest you will ever be today. Don't put this off. All right, don't put this off. Where will you be in 2 years' time? Will you be the same? Will your body weight be starting to creep up and your body weight set point is trying to join it? Where will you be in 2 years' time? Please you don't need to suffer. 30 days is what we ask. We have an incredible 30 to 60 day program. It's in 3 simple phases to follow. In essence, you're on the program for 27 days. Imagine in 30 days losing, the average is 7 to 9 kilograms. Okay, so imagine in 30 days time if you could lose between 7 and 9 kilograms. What input, what impact would that have on your life? Now, I know that there's some people that are probably thinking you don't have a mentor, you don't know where to start. Just if you don't have a mentor, just let us know below and we will make sure that you're attached to the right mentor. If you do have a contact person, then please make sure that you reach out to them, because once again, you're the youngest. Yeah, you're the youngest that you are today. Okay, we're not getting any younger. We're not. Even if you're only 30, you are the youngest that you are today. Time is of the essence. So I hope you got some value from today. If you do have any questions, then please pop them in the comments. I'll go and check throughout the day. I've got people coming up saying I was thinking about having surgery before I did the program. We have so many people that come to us as a last resort before they have any bariatric surgery, and I really I can't tell you how good that makes me feel, because I know you give it that 30 days, you lose between that 8 to 9 kilograms, that amount of weight has such a dramatic impact on your life. You only need to lose 5% of your body fat to have profound impact on the inside on a cellular level. You start to lose 10%, as so many of our people to do, it's life-changing. It's absolute life-changing. Okay, the principles get embedded in, they become a habit, and you lock that body weight set point in for life. And always remember, it's not about the weight you lose, it's about the life we gain. And that's what LTLA is all about. So I want to thank you for jumping on today. It's been a pleasure to have some new people on as well. That's really good, listening to certainly what I feel is an important message. And until we meet again, be healthy, be happy, and really importantly, and I want you to write this one down, be your own best friend. Take care, everybody.